Hey, Chris Matthew from RealSense. I want to walk you through getting started with the brand new RealSense ID Pro. You might have heard it also referred to as the FA500, Facial Authentication 500. Either way, I'm going to walk you through getting started, getting it set up, updating your firmware, everything you need to start developing applications using facial authentication. So first, you're going to go to realsenseai.com, the website. You're going to go to Products. And under facial authentication, you'll see new RealSense ID Pro. Click that. Here's where you find all the information about this brand new device. 10,000 face prints, storage, improved performance, etc. You'll also see all of the new certifications. So NIST verified, and then this brand new one, iBeta Level 2 certified. We're working on other certifications, but that's awesome. If you keep scrolling down the page, here's where you get to the getting started links. Here's the download the RealSense ID Pro viewer, which is what you just saw me in. I'll take you back there in a second. All the documentation and getting started code samples. So everything you need to integrate and start doing facial authentication in a few lines of code. So let's click on this download RealSense ID SDK. That will take you to our GitHub page under the latest release. So we're currently on version 3.3.2. It may be further along than that by the time you download this. These updates are happening like every couple of weeks. Improvements, enhancements, bug fixes, etc. But if you scroll down on that page, you'll see two important links. Well, for one, you'll see the source code. Everything is included open source Apache 2. So we support Windows, Linux, and Android. And of those, lots of programming languages from all the variations of C, Python, even a REST API. So I'll get you through all of that. But there's two main downloads you're going to want to grab at the bottom of this. We'll walk through on Windows just because it's pre-compiled and fast and simple. But you're going to want to grab this RealSense ID Tools. And you see it's 3.3.2. And you're going to want to grab the F500 signed bin. Just download those to your downloads folder. And then when you run the RealSense ID Tools and you open it, you're going to get this viewer here. This viewer, basically, I call it the kitchen sink. It has everything you need, all the features of the toolkit, all built into this easy, testable application to get you started. So you can see when you click enroll, what actually happens. When you click authenticate, what happens. But we'll get to all that. You'll see there's always like a data tab here and then a log tab here. So when you're trying to get a lot of meta information about what just happened, look in the log tag. But let's get things started with the settings. It's this gear all the way at the top right of the screen. If you click it, you'll see here's where we get into lots of demo stuff. So you can do various things with face, like authentication and spoofing. You can do various things with the body, the person, like anti-tailgating, pose, etc., and other. But before we get into all of that, keep scrolling down on this page and you'll see firmware. Click on firmware update, and then remember I had you download the signed file. So let's go back to that real quick. At the time of this video, it's F500 2.11.2.5. And sure enough, my camera device is running that same release. So if yours is behind by any chance, that's perfectly fine. It's a fast-moving environment. Just click Browse, go to where you downloaded it, and then download the current file that you just downloaded. It's going to basically update your firmware, and now everything's on the level. So actually, I should have pointed this out too, but in the title bar at the top, you'll see I'm running the RealSense ID Viewer 3.3.2, which is what you saw here, 3.3.2. So okay, so now we're running everything. You've got your firmware updated. Now what we can do is go through the the settings again. Actually, you know what? I think I'm already enrolled on here, so I'm going to delete this entry. Let's see. Oh, here, delete. So I'm going to delete Chris off of this thing so we can start from scratch. And I'm going to say, let's enroll a new user. I'm going to say Chris. That's me. I'm going to say enroll. Now watch this. Oh, that's from a file. So that's actually, I'm glad that happened because you can enroll by uploading 2D images into here, which is great. Like if you already have like all your employees, that you want to do add facial authentication to, or your customers or your members, you can go through the database or the file system and upload all of their 2D images into the camera. Reminder, the camera is what holds all of these images. We've got Docker containers for like millions of faces at scale. Just let us know if that's the solution you need, but everything I'm walking through is on the camera, AI, storage, etc. So that's for doing that. If you want to enroll live, if you're standing in front of the camera, like maybe you're enrolling employees as they walk through the door for the first time, you click this enroll button. Let's put my name in there again, Chris. Now enroll. What you'll see here is face the camera until the scan completes. You'll see a little red flash. I just saw it. Success. Now we can just click on this authenticate and look at it. And sure enough, under a quarter of a second, 250 milliseconds, it said basically Chris is detected. And I don't know if you noticed, but you don't have to hold your face like steady in a box. It can catch you like at an angle, like static moving. So this little button's fun to turn on. Like this is the looping button. So if we put it in a loop and say authenticate, you're going to watch like it's just constantly walking through. Like, look at my angle of my face. And it's constantly saying, I see Chris, I see Chris. That's pretty cool. It's amazing, actually. Okay, so if we go back into settings, I'll walk you through a few of these things. So you can do just pure face detection, anti-spoofing, if you're wearing a mask, or etc. The anti-spoofing, most use cases is standard. If you're doing something where you're doing like Mission Impossible, Hollywood vacuum masks or something, you might want to turn anti-spoofing onto high. Takes a little, few fractions of a second, milliseconds longer to compute, but you're going to get very high capabilities around mask detection or anti-spoofing capabilities. These are things like camera rotation. Like I have my camera on a tripod screwed in just horizontally, like you would expect on a tripod. But if you're mounting it like on a door vertically, you can change the orientations of your camera by just clicking these various orientations. If you have a scenario where you've got one person at a time going through a door, you'll want to leave this on single. If you're in an environment where you've got like a kind of a wider gate where you could have, lots of people just fluidly moving through, and you want to do, Chris, Mike, Sue, Sally, like all boom, 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 you can turn on multiple face selections. That works really well as well. And again, static, like I'm standing here static, but you could easily just say walk through, and it starts as far as the camera can start visibly seeing faces. It starts doing facial authentication as they're walking through the gate, which I think you could get to a scenario where maybe your gate's open and you only close it when someone's not detected. I think that's interesting. Again, on device is where all the database of the face prints are. I mentioned on host could be like millions of faces in the cloud or on your edge. I always leave this set at 1080p, the preview format. You can scale it down to 720. Distance, I usually leave it at no limit. You can experiment with those different distances. By the way, the camera does pick up distance too. Like you'll see it in the metadata when it does a facial authentication. It'll tell you the distance of the user because again, the the lenses are stereo, just like all of the other stereo cameras we offer. You can do all of this interesting stuff, like from sensor settings to GPIO toggling. If you're doing things with the pins directly, this ROI detection, that's if you want to do the facial authentication, like always in a specific place on the moving frames of the video, or else if you leave it all set to normal, it'll do detection with the whole width of the display. Wow, I can't believe we're through all of that in the face. There are other videos where I go into a much deeper dive on each of these features. I just wanted to give you enough to get started on your adventure. If we go up here to mode and turn it on person, now you can get into things like uh, pose detection. I'll turn that on just so you can see what that's like. So now, like, say you're in a TSA type of environment, you have to have your hands like this before it snaps the photo. That's kind of what that gets you. If you wanted to do anti-tailgating, which I think is absolutely amazing, this registers hands, feet, limbs with a person, so that if it sees a third foot or 2 feet that are not associated with you, the person in the green bounding box, it can flag it as anti-tailgating. So then you can build all your own access control rules where you could say, well, Chris authenticated, but I see a tailgater, so I'm not going to open the doors for Chris until I don't see a tailgater. So that's pretty amazing as well. I think, and again, you can change the camera rotation, sensor settings, all here as well. Let's see under other, what's interesting here. Oh, barcodes. So you could do barcodes as well. So a lot of cool things to programmatically experiment with. I've got other videos that do deeper dives on all the functionality, but I just wanted to get you started. There's one more spot I want to make you aware of on GitHub. So you saw the other links here. Like we were here and we saw documentation and code samples. So if we go under documentation, you'll see, the RealSense ID. This is the main repository. Here's the documentation. Here's all the specs and information, CAD files, everything you need on the FA500. And then sample code you can access from here, but here's the link that's on the website. So it'll walk you through, as you can see on the side, Android examples, Linux examples, Windows examples, and then here all in the SDK, like you pick your code, all the white papers. Back to GitHub. There's another repository called RealSense ID-REST. So what I love about this, it's a REST API. You can install it on like the machine that you connect your camera to, your FA500 FA device to, and it gives you a full-blown Swagger file with all the like post to enroll, post to authenticate. You could curl a delete command to delete a user. So you've got all the kitchen sink viewer capabilities now all entirely available via REST API. So that opens this up to any programming language. If you're writing things in Rust or Java or whatever, like you could just integrate these REST API calls and just as quickly have a facial authentication app up and running. Well, sorry I fire hosed you. I feel like I just pointed and just did one of those I know kung fu brain dumps to you, but hopefully that's enough to get you started, get your environment set up, and start experimenting with sample code. You'll also find links to other deep dive videos here in the links. All right, have fun.